Hi there, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. My name is Michael Chu and I have Sunil in the background with me. This is my list of top growth stocks based on performance, and this is for the week ending September 20, 2024. And again, we sort this based on price performance from September 5th, which is pretty recent, to yesterday was September 20th, and you can see app loving doing really well, and I highlight this stock before. Let's jump to this chart right here. Here's app loving. You have a base on base pattern, and you can see it just took off after that. It broke out and then it took off. And look at the giant volume in recent, like this last 2 weeks, definitely lots of volume. Hence the big move. And also, like even before in the base, this bottom here was a big reversal. And again, the reason is the strong fundamentals. You can see it's going to jump from 30 cents to 92 cents. That's a double, more than double, well, triple in that sense, 200%. And then you can see the next quarter are still growing pretty fast pace. So this is a long time coming stock. It's just a giant growth stock. And this is reset the first base. I also talked about this previously. So that gives it even more gunpowder because everyone who was buying here got shaken out, right? This is a big base. Let me see how 34% correction. So a lot of people got shaken out here, and then all the new buyers are now the ones that are coming in. So yeah, so just to show how I trade this. So we have this base on base. You can see I tried on this base as well. And then the red marks where I sold, and then here's when I got back in, and it did really well. And then here the pink marks are where I sold some. You know, I don't know if I should sell, but I just feel it has run many days now, so I feel like there's going to be a pullback soon. But it has been holding up. You know, so one of the things I always look for example, if I were to don't own this stock right now, I want to see how, as it gets further away from the 10-day, which is right here, the green line, how does it react as it comes near this line, right? And now you can see it's slowing, like, you know, going sideways now, and it's good. That's really good sign. And as it comes closer and closer, like it should bounce off. Then it can go up a little bit more, right? But obviously there's a high risk now because it has jumped quite a bit. Like we're at 91 breakout, and now we're at 126. So this is I don't know, 30% or more gains, right? So it's a pretty big gain already. So it might need some digestion. Like I say, some sideways action. Might even touch the green line here, somewhere like around here, and then we'll see another bounce. Like you see some 4 or 5 day consolidation, tightness, and then go again. That's what I would like to see. So it's quite extended right now, so there's lots of risks if you're buying at this level. So in the previous market recap video, we did talk about one of the areas that bounced a lot, which is the utility power area. CEG, VST, they shot up quite a lot, and there's many other stocks in that area that shot up a lot because of the announcement with Microsoft partnering with CEG to use their energy in the many years ahead for their AI energy. So they have shot up to number 2 and 3 right now because of that. So yeah, feel free to look at that video if you want to see the chart that I put up. And then we have restoration hardware, which is unusual, right, for a restoration furniture store to do this well, and it has a good earnings day. Let's see how it's trading right now. So here it gap up on that earnings day, and look at how, you know, it kind of tried to come down a little bit, and then look at what happened that day. It kind of bounced back. So this is Wednesday, and then Thursday it make a new high, and look at Friday, it kind of hold tight again in trading in the middle range. That's exactly what you want to see on the technical perspective when a stock has gone up a lot. Is they're just holding that price. They just don't want to come down to the 10-day, and look at 10-day is still catching up. It's like right down here. So generally I will you know, move my stop up as this moves up. Yeah, so this is surprising, and this is, you know, a long base right here. Look at this long base. It fell right here, so let's see. It's gonna get tested here, I think. So it looks like it did pass it based on that trend line this week. So that looks very positive, and volume was there to support, you know, the last 2 weeks up. So so this again, why am I holding this stock? Look at these numbers here. So we're going from negative to like 267. So it's going back to like 2-3 years ago, well, more than a year ago for sure. And then 72 cents to 167, and then negative to positive, and then here July next year is doubling, 100% growth. So yeah, this is looking very healthy right now in terms of the fundamentals. So that's probably why it looks like there's lots of people coming into this stock. Then we have Symbionic in the machinery, general industrial, POWL, electrical power equipment, another power equipment area, STRL, heavy building and heavy construction. There's a few building and heavy construction, AGX, another one. We have another machinery, general industrial, KRNT. So lots of electrical power, heavy equipment, you know, the industrial stuff. Yeah, I forgot to talk about my accumulation distribution numbers. Let me go to that for a second. Yeah, usually I talk about this in my market recap video, but that's okay. So yeah, it's like IBD did update their confirmed uptrend status to 100% allocation, which is the highest on Thursday, because you know, the index hit new high, so that's very bullish. So they increase it to the highest allocation. But the only thing here is like we have a Nasdaq, we have a distribution day on Wednesday, so the day of the Fed meeting, and then on Friday we also have another distribution day. It dropped 0.4% on Friday, which is not too big of a drop, but because of higher volume on that day, it's considered a distribution day. So there's some selling in the background. So we had to be cautious because it's still very high. 6 distributed days on Nasdaq and 4 on S&P. But S&P, you know, obviously we know the chart looks better anyhow. And then we have stocks accumulation. Like this is what's impressive. You can see the numbers jump from last week to this week, even before the Fed meeting. And then after the Fed meeting, Thursday, 500, and then Friday, it jumped to even more, 700. So lots of accumulation behind the scene on the number of stocks. And then distribution, surprisingly, it also jumped. So there's lots of losers too. Anyhow, and then on the group side, same thing. We have increase over time here, and then we also have an increase as well on Friday. So there's some winners and some losers. Obviously, there's a lot of calibrating. That's the word of the Fed day. Everyone talk about how he used that word 9 times. But there's a lot of calibration in the marketplace right now. People or analysts or institutions trying to figure out which area is going to do better now after this rate cut. So, but overall, you know, you can see also on the sector side, like industrial, this is what I'm talking about. Look at industrial, just you know, this is net accumulation in that sector minus the net distribution. And we have positive 172, which is a a really big number. I don't remember the last time I saw that number. This was back in July, so that was near the right before the top, I think. So that you know, sometimes it happened at the top, sometimes it happened at the beginning, but overall it's a good sign right now. And then we have financial also jumped quite a bit. Look at that number jump. So again, what does this tell you? It looks like the cyclicals are doing better, right? Industrials, financials, and look at even commodities jump too, right? But overall, it's every sector. Look at technology also improved to 73. Retail also improved, 92.84 there. And then health, surprisingly, actually dropped. I thought health would, because I guess health is a little bit more defensive. And all the defensive stuff start to drop on Thursday and Friday. So this explains like why we see industrial stocks pop up to the list now, right? So that's why I'm showing this. And I forgot to talk about that in my market recap video, but that's okay. So here we're coming back to this list, and like I said, we're seeing all this industrial stuff at the top. Now we still have some biotechs like ASND. Here we have VKTX, SPRY, and there's probably more down below, but let's just continue. And then we have VRT, and then another electrical power. AudioEye is a software enterprise. Let's look at it. Let's look at the weekly chart first. Sometimes it's a better perspective. So again, this it has a long trend. It fell right here. So this time it looks like it broke out on that trend line, and it followed through, right? So really positive. Look at the volume here. Yeah, looks really good. This is in home. Sorry, that was the wrong start I was looking at. Apologize for that. This is AudioEye now. This is the one we want to look at. So the earnings are growing quite impressive, right? 0.2 cents to 14 cents. And you can see it continued to grow even after. And this was the big run here before. And then we built this base on base. And now we're testing the first high, previous high right here. And then we still have one more high we need to test there, which is at that level. So the volume is missing on the right side of this base. That's one cautious flag there. It definitely broke out from this trend line here on Thursday. And then Friday it did follow through. And the volume did come in on Friday. But overall the volume is not, you know, definitely not enough volume before that. So yeah. But it's definitely looking better now. But yeah, I'd like to see more volume, especially on a stock that's like $25, so it'll be more volatile still, I think. And this stock generally is very volatile. You can see every time it jumps a couple of days, 2-3 days, and it fall back pretty hard. It's a very hard stock to trade. So generally 2-3 days it falls back. So just watch out for that. So we have some financial, SEZL. Then we have PI in the semiconductor manufacturing. Then we have Duolingo. So yeah, a Duolingo education software area. I talked about this as well, I believe, last week. It's a very volatile stock, similar to Palantir. Both of them, you know, have some, you know, deals with AI like right now. This one deals with AI and learning. But their numbers are pretty good. You can see 7 cents to 35 cents, 26 to 44 cents. It's just pretty superior numbers. And this was a double bottom. And look at this tightness right here, right before it breaks out. That was the test right there. And when it broke out, and then before that breakout, you see this volume right here on that week, so low. And then when it broke out, it just took off because there's just no one wants to sell, and there's only buyers coming in. So then it moves really fast, and also because this base was like, it's just so many selling right here. So you have this base, first base, second base, and then you have this double bottom. Like, it's just so much selling, and by this time it's all exhausted, no more sellers. And so once it moved fast. And here's where I start even buying it right here. But you can see right here, look at this selling. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is really low volume. And then when it take off, it really took off. So I did sell a little bit here, but it's still going. It's still going. But if you look at the weekly chart, I mean, we have hit the green line, which is the 20-25% profit zone. So it could go up still more before it takes a break. I don't know. We'll see. Since I talked about PLTR, I might as well jump it because it's very similar. Again, you can see this weekly chart is just very choppy. It's not a stock that is, you know, makes like here it makes good money, but overall it's just very choppy. And then this was the last break right here after this space, and we talk about that. And again, look at that volume. It is exhausted. All the sellers are gone as the volume keep coming down. And then when it bounced really fast. Yeah, sorry, right here. There's no one selling there, no one selling there. And then it moves really fast now. Well, let's look at the daily chart. How did I trade on this? Pretty good. I did well on this one. Look, you know, generally I was able to ride this rally here. And then here's another one. This is the latest one. And look at Friday, what happened. It came down. Let me just take out my markups for a second. Because this is like this is the thing that I always look for is when it comes down near the 10-day, does it want to touch it? And when it does touch it, or whether it doesn't touch it, does it rebound? And look at that. It didn't touch it, plus it rebound. So, you know, even though this is extended from the whole base picture, but from a short-term picture, I feel like it has more strength. So it could go higher. I think it could go higher. So yeah, this is on the tear right now. I mean, yeah, there you go. So this one is performing pretty well. I don't remember the number on my list. Let me just search for it. PLTR. So we are at number 18. PLTR is right here, 33. Now, as we go down this list, I just want to remind. I'm not gonna go through every stock, but I just want to remind that, like, because and you can see as we go down, the percentage between each stock in terms of the positioning is less and less. Like, it's less than 1%. So from week to week, like a stock could gain 5 or 10%, it'll be completely moved from like 100 position 100 to like top 20, you know, something like that, or top 30, right? So just be mindful of that. So as we go down this list, you know, some stocks are going to fall behind and some stocks going to come up. So we don't know which one. So that's why, but overall, if we have a rally, most stocks, growth stock will still go up. It's just that some will outperform more than others, right? So just be mindful of that. So TERN is another biotech stock that did well. TZOO, I believe they have come down a little bit. Trial booking fixed. So this is a heating products area, so that's also another hot space. COHR, electronic parts, again, lots of industrial, road, building, heavy construction, TWST biotech, CORT internet, retail internet, WGS biotech, GEV. So I talk about this stock. Someone says it's the best performing S&P 500 stock in the last month. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what I heard. So let's go look at this chart. You can see it has really taken off. This is an IPO, and let's look at the numbers here. So from 0.05 cents to 37 cents. That's a huge jump. And then the next one, 5 cents to 240, right? So you can see, like, it was negative before, and then it went to near flat, and then last quarter it made 476, and then going forward it's like continues to improve, and hence, you know, this stock has really taken off. So this was an initial run on the IPO, and then it kind of built this really flat base, and then you can see the handle right here. It's hard to tell because it's like on the weekly chart, but on the daily chart, you know, you can see this handle forming right here. And that's precisely when it come out. That's when I took my first position. and that's where the tightness is happening. And look at the 10-day right there. It's just let me take out my markups right now, so it's just easier. You can see how tight it's trading right here around the 10-day, and every time it touches it, it doesn't want to stay down, and it touches it again, it stays at the top, and then finally slowly, like it was, you know, at first it was a little bit hesitant, and then here's the first. That's probably another day because I already bought some right here. I didn't buy more, but those are probably 2 days you could add or buy at those positions as well. A little bit higher, and then it took off even further. Let me show my markups again. So on Friday, it did have a slight reversal, which I don't like. So I did sell some. You know, especially after such a run, like I feel like this was a really weak opening, and then look at, like, even when it climbed back, it still, yeah, it couldn't hold as well. So I did sell some, but you know, I think this is a really powerful stock. Another thing I want to say is, if I go back to my daily chart, I'm pretty sure, I think there was a target on this. I can't remember which company it was at 240. That was the one that was, there was a few that upgraded. 240 was the lowest, and then I think the next one was 260, and then I think there's even one higher. I can't remember which company. So it's already hit my 240 level, so that's another reason why I decided to sell some. But I think overall this stock could, you know, again, this is in the electrical power system, right? Again, this is a very hot area right now. I don't know if this is the leader, but definitely it has shown really powerful moves so far. So we have EME, Building Maintenance Service, another industrial, ACLX biotech, CORT biotech, ADMA biotech, so a lot of biotech still. Containers packaging, industrial, UFPT, PLTR we talked about, ANET, computer networking. Let's take a quick look at that one. So for those who doesn't use market search, that's fine, but one of the features I really like about it is this blue dot. So when you see a blue dot, it means that the highest relative strength rating is hitting new highs, which means it's outperforming the S&P 500, and that's what we're seeing here. And now, you know, looking at this base right here, it's pretty ordinary, and it's not too deep, 22%, and it's now breaking out. ANET, overall, their fundamentals look okay, like a little bit on the low side for my liking, but it is still growing. So 13, you know, so a little bit on the low side for me. I prefer 15% or more on average through the few quarters. But right now the technical chart is looking good. You know, this is the lower entry point, and then this is the higher entry point. So, and the selling volume actually dried up here. You can see. So that was a big hint that that is gonna work. Yeah, and then I just want to come back to this earnings line. It's a very stable company. If you like a stock that's not too volatile, this is a good one, because it's very stable. It doesn't, you know, like the numbers keep increasing, and it's a really nice stock. So yeah, feel free to go through the stocks whatever, you know, at your leisure time. I'm gonna start to focus on only the blue ones because that's the ones that I'm paying attention to. TMDX in the medical products area, CRDO in the internet network solutions, HIMS, computer software and medical, POWL in the building heavy construction, GE, diversified operations. We have Wingstop, retail restaurants, First Solar, Energy Solar, U in the security, FTI, oil and gas. So again, we saw some commodities energy did pick up this week, which is, you know, surprising. But yeah, so that's one that I pick up. 4 in the finance area, credit card. Let's take a look at that one. So 4, you can tell from this weekly chart, it is a volatile stock chart. The range for each bar is pretty strong on each week. So definitely not an easy one to hold. But nonetheless, we are seeing the earnings rising pretty nicely here. And you can see right here, all the 4 earnings are really good. It's a really strong stock in terms of fundamentals. However, on the technical side, it's just more volatile. So here we have this base form, and it got tested the lows even second time, and then it finally worked. And this is the low entry point, and then after it breaks out, it pulls back again, very volatile, because this is probably not a small pullback. So if you buy on this high right here, you probably might have been shaken out depending on how far you set it stop. So this, you can see, you know, right here. So here actually draw a cup with handle pattern, and then it tried to come out again. The good thing is it trade really tightly right here, and then it took off Thursday, Friday, and then the volume also really low on the selling side. So I have a green mark here, which means I took a position there. Yeah, so you know, it's moving nicely. The 10-day is like going up, pretty nice 45-degree angle. Yeah, it looks good. And yeah, let's see how this trade going forward. QTWO is a computer software financial. Now this is another big cap software, right? And let's just take a quick look. So this one's really moving, and let's just look at the earnings first. 18, 22%, 15, 19. So pretty good numbers. Not as fast as before, but also keep in mind this is a pretty big cap now, almost 200 billion. And look at the relative strength line. That's quite amazing, actually. Then look at daily chart. So we have this base right here, and then we have another. Like it fell right here. It fell. So you can see I have a red mark here. It fell on my stop for sure. Then here is it coming back slowly. Again, still quite volatile. This another fell right here. Like, I mean, it's very tight, so maybe you didn't hit your stop. And then right here is when it take off. So my recent position is right here. I was a little bit late on this. I did take another position yesterday, so I don't know if that's the good choice or not. It is a little bit extended right now based on where it closed. So we'll see. It's probably going to come back to the 10-day. Let's see how it reacts on that. But I like this stock just because it has moved. Every time it breaks out, it moves. This is the movement. Every time it breaks out, it moves. So this is what I like. It breaks out and then it moves, right? So usually 20 or 25%. So that's what I'm hoping for. Okay. INTA also doing well. Spotify. I want to talk about Spotify. This is like Duolingo, but except in the same category, but it's for music, right? It's not really a learning thing. It's more like just, I mean, there is podcasts and stuff, so maybe you can argue that's also learning stuff. But this chart is just tremendous. Like, I mean, look at this earnings line right now. I really want to pay attention to this because here's the numbers. It's a really explosion. So we're in negatives, and then we went to flat, near flat, then we went to $1, and then now we're going to $2. So it's growing really fast. You can see from that number. And look at this relative strength line. Incredible. Okay, but recently we have more base on base on base. So it's not as easy to hold lately. It hasn't worked the way you want it to. Like after it breaks out, it should just take off. So that's 3 base in a row. And there is a term for this, like ascending base, they call it. Which is very powerful. Not many stocks form ascending base. So if this one after 3 times generally, if it works, it could fly. So we'll see if this happens this time. Volume is on the sell side is not bad. It's quite low. We want to see buying come on the high, on the volume come on the buy side. We do see some on Thursday. So that was a nice day. It kind of clearly broke out from that trend right there. But again, we saw this a few times now, right? We saw this right here, broke out. 2 days, boom, came back down. Broke out, 2-3 days, boom, come back down. So we'll see what happens this time. Yeah, but the fundamentals are just really, really good. So it could be the next Duolingo or Palantir. Let's see. We have Dash. Dash also doing well. Media, we talk about it in the market recap video. KKR, financial, PNTG, medical, long-term care. Shot Ninja. Let's take a look at Shot Ninja. So this is another IPO stock, done really well. We talked about in previous video. Very short basis. We talked about that last time. And then once you take off, it runs really well. And this is another one it's doing really good numbers. Let's go to the daily chart. It's trading pretty tight for this stock. $100 stock as well, pretty tight. You know, I start buying around here, this tightness right here. This was during the market pullback. But it was one of the few stocks that never hit my stop. And then it just keep going. And then it built enough tightness there. So let me just take out my market. So it's like really tight here, really tight here. Again, how do you act around the 10-day? It just doesn't want to not only close near it, it just always bounce up. And then boom, it takes off again right here. So here we might see another sideways movement. We'll see. But it's trading so tight, this stock. It's just unbelievable. So that's something I want to mention about this one. It's just tight, trading really tight, which is a good sign. Very good sign. Sentinel, computer software security. SE is doing well as well. Internet content. Taiwan Semiconductor. Oh, that was one stock we missed on the market recap on the chip. Let's just take a quick look, because I know it was mentioned quite a few times on IBD. So this is a cup with handle. So as we saw earlier with it was quite disappointing where a lot of the chip stocks are at. This one is acting better. You can see it's above the 50-day, and even though it came back down here, it bounced. Thursday it bounced really strong, just like ARM did. Friday again looks really good, very tight. So yeah, so again, generally the chip is okay. It just look a little bit weaker on some stocks, but this one looks okay. AXON, again, we saw quite a few security stock. U was the, you can call that the young gun maybe. This is a big cap. It's 29 billion. Nice long base, reset base as well. So boom. See, when you have a reset base, it means that it undercut previous base, which shakes out a lot of people. And when you have some good news like earnings, it just gap up like a lot because there's no more sellers. And this is a very good, nice fundamental growth there. And then we have this tightness coming down, really tight. Volume wasn't there, and then when it bounced on higher volume, it just took off again. So that's AXON. So that's the chart right there on the daily. And then if we look at U, this one is a younger stock, 4.5 billion in the same category, and the growth is faster. You can see obviously because it's younger, it's also going faster. And look at this breakout, really nice. Again, gap out on earnings, and then it took off. So this one, so this is, I see, I'm looking at my trades here. So yeah, we broke out from this gap up, and I start buying, and it works. And then this is the first pullback. So the black lines is where, you know, it pulled back and formed that low of that pullback, right? and so I draw a black line there just to show where I could potentially put my stop after. So as it bounced to new highs, you know, here's another undercut right here from another. So here I got shaken out right here, this drop right there, on the red down day, and then I think the next day it gap up and I bought back in, but again that was another pullback right after. So it's a little bit volatile that few days there. I'm not sure what happened, but it was very volatile. So right here we have this pullback right here, and then we have another one right after this gap up. So usually that doesn't happen, but in this case it did. And then yeah, I bought back in, but I didn't get shaken out, but I did sell some just because I wasn't sure if it's gonna work. So and then I still have some position, and then it came back now. So it's looking pretty good up here. Yeah. So this is a younger one compared to that one. So and then we have CAVA. So CAVA and Wingstop, I think are the top two right now on my list for this category restaurants. The numbers are pretty good. And this is another IPO. And this was the sharp drop right here. We talked about that as well before. And now it's, you know, we have this pullback right here. This was so this is where I really add a lot of position. This was another stop during the last pullback. Didn't hit my stop because I guess my stop was you know, a little bit lower. And I saw how it react around the 10-day right here. I talked about this many times now. 4 days of just doesn't want to go below the 10-day, and each time it didn't want to go below, it gives me more confidence. And it did work in this case. And then right now we're seeing similar things happening, like we're near the top, right? So we're seeing some resistance right here. So I did sell some, but Friday was a really good day. So then I add back more position. So so that's what happened there. So that's CAVA. EVR, Finance Investment Brokers, STEP, Finance Investment Management. You can see some financials there. TDD, Commercial Service Advertising, Jeffrey, and other finance. So yeah. RCL, this is leisure service, so doing really well. RCL. Meta, we talked about that, doing really well. AT&T in the leisure. So again, there's some consumer discretionary doing really well right now. PAX in the medical long-term care. Yeah. So yeah. So in general, like there's lots of stocks still, you know, after less than roughly 10 sessions, we are like roughly 2 weeks or even less, like 8 or 9 sessions. There's lots of stocks that have gained since then. Obviously, we have a good rally despite the Fed meeting, which has turned out better. But as you go down the list, you know, there's still lots of gainers. You know, pretty much most stocks are gaining right now. There's very few that's down, at least on my list. As we go down, you can see they're still doing well. It's just a question of which one are going to be the big winners on this rally. And obviously, we don't know when the rally will end. Oh yeah, there's some, you know, gold down here. Let me just look at Newmont Mining as well, an example here. They only did well since recently, right? So I mean, there was a pullback. Let me load the chart. Yeah, so there was this pullback right here, and then yeah, then the week ago, Thursday, we talked about this last week. It bounced pretty strong. Then after that, we bounced another day, and then we have another pullback, which was the Fed day and stuff earlier the week. And then now it took off again. So now it's new high again. So yeah, it looks really good. There's a lot in this area, like AEM is another one on my list. Eagle Mining, you know. So this one has a bigger pullback. Yeah, so. But generally, I find it was hard to make trade this stocks short term, just because they do pull back quite a bit usually. So just look at gold for example. I just want to look at gold as a comparison. It may be the same, I don't know. Yeah, so this one looks slightly better. Like the pullback is less, so maybe like trading the ETF is better. But the gold stocks are definitely more volatile. So even this pullback is much smaller, and look at the new high, right? So this chart looks a lot better than trading the individual stock. So so that's another alternative. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you get some ideas out of it. There's lots of stocks on my list. Feel free to go through them. If you want me to comment on any stock in the future, please put your comment, like, and subscribe this video. Thank you.